What's up, VC? This is Brad from H2Vinyl, kicking off my new series called Off the Record. Kind of like that title. In this series, I'll be diving into my collection and picking an album, kind of randomly picking an album every single night and listening to that album once. Gonna do this to kind of learn my collection. My collection grew so quickly. In 2015, I had bought 2,500, about 2,500 records in a span of 6 or 7 months between 3 bulk buys, and most of the stuff back here I really only listened to once. So picked out 5. I'm planning to do this every other week. I don't know if I'll be able to make another one of these in January, but probably the start of February. So I'm going to try and pick out 10 albums within those 2 weeks and listen to one each night. And then also I like the thought of this bonding with your records, and so albums that I've only listened to or haven't really given a chance, I'm going to select 2 of those, one for each week, and listen to it every night for a week, and then give you an update on what I think about it after that week. So since this was only 1 week period, I've decided that I'm only going to do 1 of those bonding videos or albums, and then I'd also like to kind of give a teaser for what the next video will hold. And so I'm going to give kind of a teaser album that I'm going to be listening to for the next week, and then I'll pick one at random for that next video for that second album. So all that might sound really complex, but let's get into the albums. I'm sure it'll kind of make itself known. I don't know what I'm just talking. Anyway. The first album is from an artist that I have really grown to appreciate over the years, and this is Roots Manuva, hip-hop. This is specifically kind of a dub hip-hop, so a little bit of Jamaican feel to it as well, down-tempo as well. This is his 2002 album called Dub Come Save Me. I really didn't even know that I was listening to Roots Manuva for the last almost couple decades. Roots Manuva has worked with Gorillaz. I forgot to pull that album, but their 2005 album, Demon Days, their second studio album, not counting those remix albums that they did. He was in, and I forgot to look this up, of course, he was in one of those songs in Demon Days. He's got a very pronounced voice, African, English sound, like British sound to his speaking, to his rhyme. He's very intentional on saying his lyrics. There's a lot of thought behind it, and you almost hear him thinking out the lines as he says them. This is a double LP album on Big Dada Records. I remember listening to this when I first got it, and by the way, I paid way too much for this album. I bought this album April 2016. Paid more than $20 for it. To me, it isn't worth it, but the first LP on this is he and other hip-hop artists like Charlie Tuna from Jurassic 5 is on this album, or that LP. And then the second one is more of a dub instrumental. And some of these tracks just sounded convoluted to me. Some of them sounded really complex, more complex than any of his later stuff that I'm familiar with. I really don't have very much Roots Manuva in my collection. Wouldn't necessarily say that I particularly care for this. Yeah. Anyway, I played a song called Tears, and here is the needle drop. Not saying that this is a bad album, it's just I didn't really agree with it. Maybe I'll grow to love it later as I give it a listen again, but here is that song, Tears, by Roots Manuva.
The universe, the I-N-T, superb, supreme, the king of the keenness. Lean, yes, y'all. Did the end of the zone like underground zone.
Yes, while you're absorbing, watch my vocal cords blend. I provoke applause when I play the local swordsman. Press record when I'm swinging these words immaculate. Evacuate the premises, nemesis, never swim with us.
As each time we touch mics, we bust mics, we bruck mics, we cuss mics, infest like dust mites. We just might eat you out the house and home. You can't see me, but you're scratching your skin,
touching your dome. Yes, we've been the fact.
The next album is going into blues rock, and that group is Faith with Cross for the T. It's their 1973 album called Faith. I don't know if it's their debut. I haven't looked much up on Faith, but I love this album. I remember the first. I spun this at the beginning of this year, or last year, sorry. It's 2019, not 2018. I spun this in the future? What? So January 26th of last year is when I last spun this. And because that's what the label says when I did the grading and everything. But I quite like this album. I think I liked the first side more than the second side. But I bought this in my third bulk buy. I bought 1,300 LPs in that bulk buy, and over the cost of everything, I paid 30 cents for all the albums. And so 30 cents for this, it was pretty good. The cover is in very good condition, not near mint, it's got some wear on the edges and got some ring wear as well. And then the record is also, the condition is very good as well. You might hear some pops and clicks in some of the needle drops in these, but yeah, this was a really great find for me. Really enjoying this, and definitely going to look into more of Faith. I'm hoping that they keep the blues rock motif, because I really do enjoy blues rock. So anyway, I'll be playing the song Sometimes. So Sometimes, which is the first track off the side one. So here is that needle drop.
Sometimes the things before my eyes, they just don't please me. Then the light shines through, and that light's from you, and you can feel it too, yeah. Well, it makes you feel so good.
This next up is going to the late 70s, and this is Blondie, Eat to the Beat. Released in October of 1979, kind of pop rock or new wave. I really enjoy Blondie. One song on this I particularly really liked, and that was, don't have it on there. The Hardest Part, which was the second track on side one. The rest of them, good background music. This record is not in very good condition. I marked it down as good plus. I bought it at a yard sale in Kissimmee, Florida. When did I do that? October 2016. Got it for $2, so I'm not too torn on this not being the greatest album in the world or greatest copy. Not 100% certain I'm going to get another one. This album didn't stand out to me like Parallel Lines did. I really enjoyed Parallel Lines. But it looks like this was from a collector, maybe, or maybe a DJ who like to mark their albums on the cover. But anyway, I'll be playing the Needle Drop, the hardest part, the song that I really enjoyed. And here is that Needle Drop.
Inside the armored car, ride too big on guards. In a bulletproof vest, shot up with glass. Overdrive, we're gonna pass 25 tons of hardened steel. Rolls on no ordinary wheel. The hardest part.
We're hitting up the blues next, and this is Memphis Slim, All Kinds of Blues. I got this in my third bulk buy as well. Got it for about 30 cents also. This is really, the cover is in really bad condition. As you can tell, it looks like it's been chewed by something. I literally put packing tape on both sides because I was afraid of rot or fungus or something like that. I love this album. I knew when I pulled it, I was like, oh yeah, I know I like this album. Just have only spun it a couple of times. Also, this is probably the first, maybe one of the first labels that I made. So this is probably one of the first albums that I started labeling. So this is this was a 1963 album. We got blues, piano blues. Memphis Slim is a amazing, accomplished piano blues player. He mentions several other blues members within this album, and just hanging out with them and enjoying life together and making music together. And so it's really cool. This is the 1984 reissue. Definitely have it down as a placeholder copy because I want to get a better cover at least. There's some pops and clicks on this as well. Mark the vinyl is very good. I would say it's probably that. Yeah, the blues, when blues members just are able to talk through some of their songs, I really enjoy that. And then later on they may start singing or they just keep talking. I really, like I said, really appreciate that type of style. And Memphis Slim definitely does that. The song that I'll be playing for this is If You See K. I'm not spelling a word, okay? It's if you see K. Anyway, I didn't realize that it spelled something until I heard him. I'm like, is he? Oh, the name of the song is If You See K. Anyway, really great a great song about losing a love while traveling around, and then he's basically asking the entire audience of the records, hey, if you see a person that meets this description and her name is Kay, tell her I'm looking for her, which is a really cool concept. So here is that Needle Drop.
Tell Kay I ain't had no loving since my little girl been gone. But you know something? A man can't go around forever looking for a certain girl. Maybe something happened to the girl. she could be dead. Or something terrible could have happened to her. Maybe she gotten married.
We're moving into electronic, specifically progressive trance. And this is Dave Kane, Clarkness, the remixes. Strange title, anyway. I think of Clark Griswold from National Lampoons every time I hear that title, which is never. Anyway, so kind of funny that the Vinyl Frontier is, that'd be a good name. Anyway, for a channel. It was the name of the record store. It looks like it was purchased in March, or tagged March 2001, and it was deemed the price of $10.99. Well, I got this for about 50 cents because I bought a lot, I would say close to 500 techno singles, 12-inch singles, and so I have 500 of these things. Some of them are notable artists, but a lot of this stuff, like this, Dave Kane, I've never heard this stuff until now. I had this in my collection, probably have listened to it once or twice. I know I've listened to it because I have in the notes here, I haven't heard this in years, but I remembered the chorus of track 1 on side 1. Must have made an impression on me if I remember it from the first time I played it, which was probably sometime mid-2015, so about 3-4 years. Anyway, I will be playing the first track, which is Clarkless, the Slacker remix. Progressive trance. It takes a long time to move in certain directions, but I'll try and start it in the middle of the song to kind of build it and everything. So here is that needle drop. This last album is an album that I tried to bond with over the course of a week, and the album was released in 2017, September I think of that month, that year. And before the release, I remember talking with Daddy Sensei Silver to see if he knew I liked this group. I really liked this group, and before the album's release, he said, "Hey, have you heard that they have a new album out? And have you heard the single?" And I really enjoyed the single. And then when I got to listening to the record for the first time, I didn't care for it. Kind of put it away and never dug it out again. And well, over a year later, I'm giving it another shot, and I have no idea what I was thinking. I love this thing, and this is LCD Sound Systems, American Dream. Wow, yeah. I think I just wanted it to sound the same, and listening to it again, it sounds the same as all of their other stuff, and I love that. And wow, I have no idea what I was thinking. I will say, Call the Police, the single that was released before the album, was quite possibly the weakest song on this album. I don't know any of the band members. I really should look them up. I really do enjoy LCD Sound System a lot. The lead singer has a, what is it when your voice goes up a register? Josh Homme does it often. The lead singer of LCD Sound System does it often when a guy sings kind of out of range high. And anyway, sounds like a young boy, I don't know. Anyway, really enjoyed this album. Gosh, I'm really glad I tried this again, because geez, it would have just sat on the shelf. This, like I said, it's 2 LPs. It's pressed by Palace USA, and specifically pressed by Quality Record Pressing, which is really cool. If you don't know LCD Sound System, they're rock, they're indie rock, they're kind of almost a little bit of synth pop and left field in there as well. Oftentimes they sing a little off key, but I like it. It works really well with them. And so on these Bond records, I'm going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a few of the needle drops. And so I'm actually playing the portions of the first side, which is Oh Baby, Other Voices, and my favorite song on the album, I Used To. And so we'll finish up with that one. And here are those needle drops. Well, VC, that's my first episode of Off the Record, and just before I end this, I did want to give a teaser of what I'll be listening to as a bonding album for next week, and that is, this one's going to maybe surprise some of you. This is Portishead 3rd, when it was released in 2008. Portishead started 1995-ish. 1996 was their second album, I think, maybe 97. And then their biggest hit was, for me, was 1998, their live album. Well, this came out 10 years later and I couldn't stand it. So I'm going to give this a try. It's a CD, so we'll do a off the CD version for the next one. But yeah, I'll probably play this in my alarm clock, waking up every morning to it. Then maybe listen to it on a good sound system, maybe like my car sound system or something. But look forward to listening to this again. It's been a number of years. I think I've listened to this maybe 3 or 4 times in the last over a decade. So give that a try. Everyone, thanks for watching. Hope everyone's listening to great vinyl, and we'll catch you in the next video. Take care, everyone.